Good morning, friends. So today we are going to have just a pretty easy morning flow, setting our roots a little deeper into the soil. Our requests are a little bit of hamstring lengthening and some chest opening, which can be a little tricky this time of year. Often a lot of our heart openers and back bends can be a lot of levity, a lot of lifting, when also at this time of year we're added grounding into our practice. So I've got a really awesome camel restorative style camel variation that we'll go over, and that'll be a little bit towards the end. To begin, let's go ahead and just come onto the mat. Any comfortable place that you like to be. I would recommend starting on the back today. If that's not something that you normally do, something where you feel really comfortable and low to the ground. And you can let the knees pull in together as you walk the feet a little wider toward the outside edge of your mat. And if that feels, maybe you have a pretty deep curve in the low back, see if you can just lift the tailbone, kind of tuck it a little, and then rest the pelvis back down, a little bit more length, feeling more of your spine long on the mat. Use each exhale you take here to soften a little more, and see if you can close the eyes and just allow the heart and the breath and the mind to sync up. So focusing your thoughts on the sound of your breath. By lengthening the exhales, feel a little, maybe slowing the rhythm of your heart rate down. Especially if you've just had a ton of coffee this morning like I have, and we can reroute. Just notice how you feel this morning. Notice what is showing up for you and with you. Without thinking too much about it, just begin to grow heavier. Allow the bones to get denser, more dense, I think would be the better way to say that. If you can form just a tiny little constriction in the back of your throat. There's no need to bring on this super intense, powerful Ujjayi pranayama here, but that tiny little bit of constriction, just allowing your throat lock, that is actually a bandha here, your Jalandhara bandha, you really begin to take control of the air passing in and through. Creating just a little bit more awareness of the breath sending down to the deep bowl of your pelvis. And as you exhale, still really controlling that even disbursement of air out. And you can keep this steady, even breath throughout the rest of this practice. But if you want to let it go at any point, please feel free. Just try to allow the body to be in ease here. So sometimes for no reason at all, focusing on the breath throughout the practice can cause some anxiety, and you're not alone in that if that happens. But just know that you can let it go and pick it up anytime you like. If you have your arms down by your sides, go ahead and sweep them out. Sweep them out to your sides. And begin to walk the feet in toward each other. And from here, your feet are about hip distance apart, your knees pretty much right over your hips. Feeling the feet firmly planted. Begin to just gently rock the hips side to side. These don't have to be big, sweeping motions. You're really more thinking of the rocking of the back of your pelvis into the mat, into whatever surface is beneath you. And maybe you can link the movement with the breath here. Every time you inhale, the knees rocking over to the right. And your inhale draws the knees back to center. Inhale over to the left. Exhale to center. So really slowing it down. Just moving with the breath. Allowing this with the arms out to your sides gives a little bit more space for the breath to move into the chest here. So go ahead and settle the knees into the center. And as you take your next inhale, really breathe it into the chest. Think about expanding the ribs, lifting the chest. You might even get a little bend in the back here. And exhale, settle it down. Good, inhale. And exhale. Take one more. Inhaling, filling up the chest. And as you exhale, begin to draw the knees into your chest. And you might have your hands wrapped all the way around your shins, maybe clasping together. If it feels better in your body, you might even have the hands just on the knees or even behind the knees if you want to just kind of open the knees up a little more. Just kind of let the knees rock side to side. Maybe they're moving in circles together, kind of moving as one. Perhaps they are moving independently of each other, just making big circles. Let's begin to start to open the eyes as you begin sending the heels up to the sky. Reach your hands in that direction too. And it's totally okay if your knees don't even go fully straight here. Point and flex into your feet, kind of stretching along the tops of your feet. Maybe you're even rolling it around with your ankle. And you can do the same thing with your hands. Roll the wrists around. And then go ahead and just take your hands anywhere along that right leg. Let the left leg come all the way down to the earth. And right here, if this is pretty intense for any reason, you can bend into your left knee, place the foot on the ground, or really extend it long and think of squeezing into the muscles of that left leg. And then look up toward your right toes, point the right foot and flex the right foot. And then think of really pressing your right heel into the ceiling. Take a slow, deep breath in. Exhale. Just noticing the sensations along the back of your right leg. With your breath steady in and steady out. Begin to bend into your right knee, hug it into your chest. Bring the left knee in, and we'll just switch it on out as you send your left heel straight up, right heel out long and away from you. And then the same thing over here. Point and flex again to your left foot. And then really find that active stretch of pressing the heel away. And then breathe deeply in. Deeply out, let go. Let that soften all the way up into the back of your neck. And your last exhale here. Hug your left knee in. Bring the right knee in, and we'll begin to come up to a seat. You can do that by rocking along the length of your spine a few different times. You can also just roll over to one side and come on up. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees open wide, and take a hinge at your hips as you lead the heart forward. So roll the shoulders back and away from your ears. You might even lift the chin slightly, but try not to crank too much into the back of your neck. So you're still looking for length, but just allowing this gentle stretch all the way up through your throat chakra. Breathe in and breathe out. Begin to come on up, and we'll make our way to hands and knees. Spreading the fingers wide, knees right underneath your hips. You can untuck the toes or tuck them. It's totally your preference here, whatever you are looking for. You might even try between the two and see which one feels best. And we'll begin moving through cat and cow as you inhale. Drop the belly, lift the crown of the head and the tailbone. And as you exhale, tucking around, protracting your shoulder blades away from the spine, rounding into the upper back. Inhale, again dropping into your sway back cow. I hear some teachers call this dog pose as well, which makes lots of sense for me too. Exhale into your cat, tucking the chin deeply. Inhale to your sway back here. And maybe you even close the eyes and start to move in an organic, free form fashion. Just kind of allowing the spine to wake up here. I like to take big circles with my hips. And you can even really dramatize this by really dropping the hips in the front, opening through the heart, and then taking the hips around and back. Inhale to bring them forward. And exhale to bring them back. Going in both directions. You might notice a little bit of creaking. Usually that happens on my knees during this. I've got a nice little padding under my knees. Take a few more rounds just to even yourself out, moving in whatever way feels good, especially if you've got some music going, kind of starting to sync up with that beat. Good, last couple of rounds here. And then we'll begin to just make our way into downward facing dog. So tuck the toes under if they're not already there. Begin to lift the hips up and back as you straighten to your legs. And again, those knees can stay as bent as you like, especially if we're just coaxing into those hamstrings here. Maybe the hips are still rocking a little side to side. And then find a little moment of stillness here. So really pressing for the length in the spine. Tip the tailbone up and back, drop the chin to the chest. Breathe in and breathe out. Slowly begin to tiptoe your feet to the very top of your mat. And when you get there, feet are about hip distance apart, maybe even a little wider. Grapple at opposite elbows and sway gently from side to side. Just allowing everything to spill out of your trunk. Knees are bent, so you have lots of space here, really, especially in the low back. Now we're going to release the fingertips to the earth. Heel toe your feet together if you like them there. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine, flat back. Exhale, soften the knees and fold. Take two more just like that. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Last one to lift. Really think about a turtle coming out of his shell. You're lengthening out through the neck. And exhale, fold it in. Get your weight heavy in your heels as you slowly root down to rise all the way up, hands to the sky. Look up toward your palms, and then exhale, thumbs together right in front of your heart. Maybe you even close your eyes again here. Reconnecting with your breath if you have sort of let that go. And reconnecting with your feet on the earth, your heart in your hands, and your crown lifting up toward the sky. So lengthen down to the tailbone, draw the low belly in and up. Allow that to sort of create this lift and alignment of the chest so that the shoulders are right over the hips. Hips are over the ankles, and the ears pull it all together, lifting up last. Take a slow and steady inhale. And as you open your mouth and sigh it out, release your arms down by your sides. Inhale to open the arms. Exhale to be here. Inhale, hands up, look up. Exhale, fold forward, take it all the way down. Inhale, find that flat back, lift and lengthen. Exhale, step your left foot back, lower your left knee, and then rise up, hands to the sky. Finding a low lunge here, relax your shoulders away from your ears, and draw your right hip back, feeling a nice long front of your left hip here. So you should feel the stretch a little bit more here than anywhere else. And then from this space, you might decide to rock a little bit deeper. No necessary need to. Maybe you shift the gaze up slightly, keeping long in the neck, breathe in. As you exhale, elbows come wide, soften the heart as you lift it up. Inhale, hands up. Let's take 2 more just like that with your breath. Exhale, soften to open. Inhale, take it up. And exhale, let it down. Release the hands toward the earth. Rock the hips back as you reach the right toes to the sky. Hands might come to blocks if they can't quite reach the floor without kind of dumping over. You want to think about long in the spine. I usually like to have my hands on blocks here, but I forgot them in my house in Raleigh. So rolling the right toes up and back. Lengthening the heart forward. You might even have a little bend into your right knee. Keep thinking about backing the hips up in space and then reaching the heart forward. Start to walk it up, frame into the front foot. Tuck the back toes and step back into your plank. You can always lower the knees here. Lifting the heart forward, make sure you're not dipping into the low back or into the heart. Take a deep inhale and exhale, lower everything to the earth. Untuck your toes and squeeze your glutes as you lift the heart forward. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. Exhale, lower. Tuck the toes. Just make it all the way back to your downward facing dog. Take a big inhale. And big exhale, let it go. Inhale, hand to your toes. Begin to walk it to the top of your head again. Lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, hands to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. Breathe in deeply, open the eyes. And exhale, hands down. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, arms wide, let the heart lead the way. Lift and lengthen the spine, breathe it in. And exhale, step the right foot back. Lowering the right knee. Letting the hips level themselves here in space. Reach the hands forward and then come on. Soften the shoulders away from your ears. And you decide if you want to rock the hips forward or not. You might stay in this sort of 90 and 90 look. Still breathing into the front of that right thigh. Pressing into that left heel. And then squeezing the inner thighs toward each other. Breathe in here. And we'll exhale to cactus the arms, elbows wide, lift the heart. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, let it open. Inhale, last one to lift. And we'll open it up, let the hands come all the way down here. Rock the hips back, find your half split. Same thing here, just maybe a little baby bend into your left knee as you rock both hips back. And then lean the heart forward. Breathing in. And now let's walk it forward. Framing your front foot, step back, plank pose. Steady inhale. And use your exhale to lower as slowly as you can. Elbows graze the side of your hips. Untuck your toes. Inhale for your cobra. Exhale, lowering. And make your way to downward facing dog. Breathing in. And letting go. Inhale, step your feet to the top of your mat. Exhale, fold. Root down through your heels, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, hands to the sky, look up. And as you exhale, sink the hips down, chair pose. Chair pose, sinking the hips down really, really low. See if you can look down and see your toes. If you can't see your toes, see if you can draw your hips back just a little bit more so that your knees stay, over your ankles-ish. They might come a little bit forward over your ankles, and that's okay. You want to try to keep your weight heavy on your heels, lengthen down through the tailbone. Breathe in. And exhale, arms spread wide, look up, lift. Sweeping the hands up, take the hips down. And exhale, arms wide, lift and stand. Take that again, breathe in. And this time as you exhale, step up onto your right foot, pick up your left knee. Lots of energy into your left foot. Checking your balance here. You can keep the hands out wide or even reach them back behind you and interlace the fingers. If you move in that direction and you decide not to go for it, also totally cool. Hands can be great at the hips. Try to relax into your shoulders. Set your gaze on something that isn't moving. Maybe you're tapping a little bit here and there. And then we'll sweep that left leg back. Maybe you catch a breath here in Warrior 3. We'll dial those left toes down to the earth. And then drop your left toes to the back of your mat, coming into a high crescent lunge. Hands reach up to the sky, breathe in. And as you exhale, we'll take a twist here. So your left hand comes to the front, right arm sweeps over to the back. You might even shift your gaze toward that right thumb. See if you can deepen the bend to your right knee. Breathe in. Breathe out, left hand to the earth, right hand to the sky. Inhale. And exhale, right hand to the earth. Big step up, left toes sweep to the sky. And then we make our way back to the beginning. Standing on the right leg, left knee in front. And we're gonna wrap your left leg around the right as you sink down into chair pose. So this is our eagle. Left arm, if you wanna add the arms, comes underneath the right. See if you can lift the fingertips up. You can always just straighten I'll face you here. You can also just use that right foot, kind of let it help you with a kickstand, or you can try to wrap it around behind. Breathe where you are. Maybe you exhale to bow in. Inhale to release as you come on up, arms to the sky. And exhale, arms wide, squeeze the legs, open the heart. Good, sink the hips down, sweep the hands high, chair pose. Exhale. Inhale, sink the hips low. And again, exhale. Last one, sink the hips low. This time you're gonna step up on the left leg. Come on. Notice if you're kind of hunching forward here. Or if you can, imagine one of your most supportive friends or family members behind you. They've got your back. Maybe lean into that chest. Breathe in. Maybe you take the opposite hand, grasp here, and then exhale, sweep that right foot to the back. Inhale, and exhale, drop that right foot down, hands to the sky. Finding your high crescent lunge, relax your shoulders away from your ears. Zip through the low belly. Maybe sometimes when I zip through that low belly, it really helps me to lengthen the tailbone down. That might even bring a bend into the back knee. which is totally okay. You can bend into it, steady your hips, and then maybe you find that long length again. Breathe in. Ready to take the twist, right hand forward, left hand back. Still drawing that low belly in and up to support your heart space. Inhale. And exhale, right hand down, left hand high. Breathe in. Awesome job. Exhale, left hand down. Step up, right foot to the sky. And then that slow transition coming all the way back up. And settling into our eagle wrap here. Right leg up and over. Right arm underneath. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale, standing to release, hands to the sky, squeeze everything in your legs. Exhale, cactus those arms big, open through the chest. Hands come behind your hips. Root down through the heels to lift up through your crown. Breathe here. Inhale. Exhale, folding forward, hinging at your hips. Breathing in, allowing that stretch to come to the front of your shoulders. Letting the head be heavy and loose. Release the hands to the earth. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step it on back, find your plank. Lowering as you like. Opening the heart. And downward facing dog. Breathe in as you sweep the right leg high. Let's bend that knee and open the hip here. Maybe take a couple of little bends and straightens here. Maybe a couple of big circles with that knee. And as you start to level out the hips, set the right foot to the top of your mat. Left hand stays where it is. Right hand to the sky. We've been here before. Instead of going down, this time we're coming up. Squeeze into the inner thighs. Come on up to that twisted lunge. Breathe here. Soften the shoulders. Maybe even a little bend to the elbows. Then we're going to take a big windmill here. Making our way towards warrior two. So left arm lifts up. Right arm drops down. And then we slowly, kind of ninja, slow-mo style, send the back heel down, right hand forward, and then we sweep that right hand up. And round it down, right elbow, either on top of or inside of that right knee. Notice here for your extended side angle, sometimes, see if I can turn to you here. Sometimes I have a tendency to make it a little too easy on myself, but kind of like hanging out here. What we really want to look for is stacking that right hip in line with the left shoulder right above that right shoulder, left hand straight to the sky. So there's a lot of action happening, lengthening into the waist here, zipping the low belly in and up. And then there's a gentle lean back again here, trusting the work you put in, trusting your feet. Option to come into a bind here. Left hand can come back to tuck into the top of your right thigh. That's a half bind. If you want to take the full bind, you can take your right hand underneath the right thigh. And then shift your gaze down to the right toe. Breathing in. Breathing in. Slowly release the bind. Keep taking it. Right hand comes inside of that right foot. Left hand to the sky. Begin to straighten into that right leg. And then slowly round it down. Lift your left heel. I'll turn back to the side so you can get a better look. Both hands are on the inside of your right foot. Lift your back heel. Your hands might be on blocks here. Back heel stays lifted. Shift the heart forward and then bend into that right knee again here. So now your hips are level. You might even walk that right foot out to a little diagonal, maybe lower the back knee for lizard. This will get to the outside of that right hip. And you might enjoy coming onto your elbows here, maybe even lifting the back knee as you come down. Keep squeezing into your glutes here. Keep lifting the back of your heart. And begin to lower the back knee if you've lifted it. Come on out. Come up onto your hands. And we're going to sweep that right leg all the way up and back. So find that three-legged dog as you sweep it up and around. Bend that knee. Maybe you even drop it over. If wild thing is something that you love adding in here and there. And then we'll all meet in a center plank, making your way there as you like. And take your flow. Meeting in downward facing dog, breathe in. Let's open the mouth, let that side go. Inhale, left leg high. Bend that knee, a couple bends and straightens, maybe a couple of big knee circles. And we'll start to level out the hips. Step your left foot to the top of your mat. Right hand stays where it is, left hand to the sky. Building in some of that heat, use it to your advantage. Use it deep in the belly here. Squeezing the inner thighs together, press down through both feet, slowly come on up. Whoa. Soften the shoulders, maybe again that bend into your elbows would feel nice here. And then that big switch around. So we start by sweeping the right hand high. And then opening it up as we send the back heel down. Left hand to the sky. And a reverse warrior. Big inhale. And exhale, left hand to the left knee. And sweeping that right arm up overhead. Choosing here, trying not to kind of stick your booty out. See if you can, if you find you're in this place of the hips feel really high in the back, maybe you just work on slowly bending deeper into the front knee. Trying to get that front thigh. I mean, they say you're supposed to get it parallel to the floor, but it doesn't have to be parallel, but just find your edge here. And then if you want to take that bind or half bind, right hand first sweeps back toward that left thigh. Opening through that right shoulder. And if you're working towards the full bind, the left hand will come underneath. I'm going to skip down on this side. My left shoulder needs a little bit more love today. Shifting my gaze down toward my foot so that I can feel long in the back of my neck. And we'll begin releasing the bind. Left hand to the inside of your left foot. Right hand to the sky as it sweeps up and over. Lift the back heel. And heel toe your left foot out. Moving into your lizard variation. Maybe the knee is coming down. Maybe you stay up on your hands. Just allowing the hips to get a little bit loose here. Last couple of breaths here. As we start to get ready to release this pose. Plant your hands, tuck the back toes, and start to make your way into that three-legged dog, left leg high. Maybe you're keeping it up here. Maybe you're shifting into that wild thing or even a side plank. And then rounding it back. Using that deep core of your belly, lower through. Inhale, open heart. Exhale, soften. Downward facing dog. And let's tie onto your toes. Bring the knees all the way to the earth. And come up onto your knees. So the camel option I want to play with today, I'm going to use my water bottle as what would be a block. Take it right inside of your left ankle. And if you already know that camel is not something you enjoy practicing, keep your hands to the low back. Just lift through the heart. Think about pressing your hips into your thighs, into your knees, into the earth. And with that action of drawing down, you're zipping the low belly and then up and allowing this lift of your sternum. There's not so much of a back bend at all here. Just thinking about opening the front of the body. And if you want to stay right there, just gently breathe and lift. If you want to add a little bit more without going too far, take your left hand to your block. Using that added element of the ground, and maybe the right hand reaches up to the sky. Lifting through the heart. Keep breathing here. If your right hand is in the sky, gently bring it down to your heart. And use that to start to lift. You can move your block as you lower the hips down to your heels. One hand to heart. One hand really touching the earth, or maybe even just resting on your thigh. And this gentle reminder that the ground is here. You are well. Maybe close the eyes and say something nice to yourself. Like thank you for doing the work. Thank you for showing up on the mat today. And we'll get ready for our second side. Gently preparing, both hands come to the thighs. As you open the eyes, come on up. Replacing your block now to the inside of your right ankle. Hands can come to the back of your hips. I like to pretend like I'm putting my hands like into imaginary pockets here. Lifting up. Maybe you stay right here. Maybe you take that right hand to your block, left hand to the sky. So there's this pushing and pulling of lifting to the sky and rooting to the earth. Take one more slow and steady breath. And then allowing that left hand to the heart. Lift the heart into the left hand as you bring your hips back to the floor. One more regrounding, reminding, left hand to the heart, right hand either to your thigh or the earth. Take one more breath here. And when you feel resorted, I think, just allow the hands to come to the earth and gently walk them down. Just bring the elbows in front of your knees and let the head drop. You can also extend the arms for full child's pose here. Breathe into the back of your heart. Breathe into all 360 degrees surrounding your heart. Slowly walk your hands back and just sweep your feet out so that you can come to a seat. Extend your feet wide and see if you can flex your feet. Checking to see that your knees are going in the same direction as your toes are, which is hopefully straight up toward the sky. Take your hands to your hips and do a little sort of rocking of your pelvis back and forth. So the tailbone, as you kind of tuck it toward the earth, you're rounding in the spine, and then you're rocking it forward as you lift the tailbone and think about pressing your pubic bone toward the earth. Again, active into the feet, squeeze your muscles of your thighs, and then again, rock the hips back. And take it forward. Good, take it one more. And now find that place right in center. So you're not rounding into the back and you're not opening, and flaring out the ribs here. You really feel nice and stable in your pelvis. Take your right hand and begin to slide it underneath your left thigh. So bending into that left knee, sweep the left arm up and over. And then think about maybe bending into that elbow, opening the chest. This might be a great place for you to stay. If you can keep this opening and maybe your body's kind of asking for a little bit more stretch, then start to take your left hand again, long. Maybe lean up and over. Still thinking about twisting that chest towards the sky. And then begin to gently come up. On your way there, maybe both hands touch the earth, framing your left thigh, tucking your chin, feeling the earth rise up to meet you, supporting you. And then on your way back to center, let's switch it over. Left hand now is going to slide underneath that right thigh. Get nice and secure, and then that right hand sweeps up. Bend into that elbow, opening through the chest. And maybe you stay right here, just breathing into that heart opening. Maybe you start to take a little deeper. Whatever feels good and free and right. Notice the sensations, where you feel them. And slowly come up. Both hands framing that right foot. And as you come back to center, just take a little bit of a self-massage here, taking your hands, really pressing your palms into the tops of the legs. You might lean over to the right, kind of go all the way down to the foot maybe, and then take it all the way over to the left. Just allowing the hands to make contact with the body here. Let's take it, arms big and wide. And wrap yourself up in a hug here. Press the right elbow over the left. Hands come to the shoulders. And walk them a little tighter here. Breathe in as you might start to lift the elbows gently. And round in. Inhale to lift. Round in. Last one to lift, and we're going to open it up big and wide. Bring those hands back behind your hips, propping yourself up with your fingertips. Lean forward with the pubic bone, lift the heart and the chest. And then slowly come back to gentle center. We'll take it once more to the other side. This time left arm crosses over the right, wrap it up. And then moving here, inhale to lift. Exhale to round and ground. Inhale, lift. And exhale. Last one, taking open big and wide. Hands back behind you. Opening through the chest. And rounding out. Now we're just coming on down to the back. Take the hands behind the knees. And just slowly begin to tuck and round all the way down. Bring your arms up overhead so you can stretch the body very long here. And then you choose last couple of shapes. Maybe you would like to take a twist, bending to the knees, rocking them side to side. Maybe happy baby, taking the feet up to the sky, hands outside of your feet, or calves or ankles. Just allowing the spine, shoulders, hips to stay rooted, grounded, and soft earth. And for your Shavasana today, if you have a wall nearby or even a couch or bed or something you can take your feet up and place your calves on, you can take that. I'll also just offer legs up the wall, taking your hips over to the wall, shift the feet up, and just allowing the body to take in this gentle and mild immersion. And of course, your traditional Shavasana is always available to you. Just want to take the body long. Once you've found the shape that you want to be in, just allow yourself to bring in a nice deep breath in, full and expansive. And a big sigh, open it up. Allow yourself to be at home, right here, in your body, in your skin. Softening the muscles in the face, between the eyebrows, around the ears, unclenching your jaw. Allowing the front of your chest and the fronts of your shoulders to melt away from the center. Letting go of any controlled breathing if you are still working with that. Allowing the body to breathe and be breathed. Natural rise and fall of the chest and the belly with each inhale. Allow the feet to fall away from each other. Allow the palms to open to the sky. And we'll start to gently deepen your breath. Notice the sounds that you hear inside and outside of the walls you are in. Notice the way the air feels on your skin. Notice how you feel. As you wiggle your fingers and your toes, as you begin to wake yourself up, be gentle and kind with yourself and your thoughts. Curling yourself up onto your favorite side, it doesn't matter which. And then gently pressing your way up into a nice comfortable seat. Eyes can stay closed or you can open them gently. Gather the palms together in front of your heart. And bow your chin to your chest in gratitude for your own practice, for showing up for yourself today, for doing the work it takes to fully show up for others. The more time we can devote to ourselves and our own self-study, the more we are aware of how we interact and connect with every other living thing. And how when we bow to the light in ourselves, we are bowing to that same light in each other. And may all beings everywhere be happy, healthy, and free from harm. May the fruits of my practice help me contribute some way to that freedom and happiness for all. Thank you so much. Thank you.